Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with another forecast for all of the signs, and we are gonna take a look at the full moon that is gonna happen at 4 degrees in Gemini on the 27th of November. So if you are interested in that, and if you want to know how the full moon is gonna impact you and how you can use its energy to your advantage, then just keep on watching. And if you are new here, hi, my name is Anna and I'm your spiritual lifestyle coach, and I bring all of those spiritual ideas down to earth to give you actionable tips and resources that you can actually use in your daily life. And for the basis of my coaching, I use astrology as a tool because it can help us to discover so much about ourselves, about our life path, and so much more. So if you are interested in topics like that, then please subscribe. And now let's get on to the video. So as I said, the full moon is gonna happen at 4 degrees in Gemini. So take out your chart and see where you have 4 degrees of Gemini in your chart, because this is gonna be the life area where you are gonna be feeling the energy of this upcoming full moon. So let's start with saying what full moons are actually good for. So full moons are really there to highlight something about our lives that needs to change, and also full moons are really awesome for manifestations. So if you want to manifest a certain thing in your life, a full moon is a great time to do it. Also, I would always manifest the things on the full moon that are gonna be impacting your personal chart. So that's why it's actually so important to see where the full moon is gonna be happening for you. So now let's talk about the general energy of the full moon. So this is gonna activate our mind, it's gonna stimulate our curiosity, and also it's gonna forge connections through communication. Because this is happening in Gemini, which Gemini is the sign of communication, it's the sign that really is interested in everything, it's the sign that wants to know everything, it's a very, very curious energy. So this is gonna be definitely highlighted during this full moon. Also, this full moon is gonna ask you to open up your mind to new possibilities, because Geminis are very open-minded. They are very changeable and adjustable. So that's why this is gonna be the vibe of this full moon. Also, it's gonna be the time where we actually are gonna be able to download messages from the universe, and we are gonna be shown new ideas, because I always associate Gemini with brainstorming and collecting new ideas. So that's why I feel like this is gonna be the vibe of this full moon. Also, I will be careful not to get into misunderstandings, so pay attention to your communication. But other than that, this is gonna be very, very beautiful energy, and I am so excited for each and every one of us to experience this full moon's energy on our own. And now I'm gonna go through the rising signs. So take a look at your chart, see again where this is gonna be happening for you, and then look at the ascendant, so the rising sign that I'm gonna be talking about, and this is gonna give you the idea of what is gonna be happening for you during this full moon. So let's also take a quick look at what signs are gonna be the most impacted by this full moon's energy. So as we can probably think, it's gonna impact very, very strongly our Geminis, since this is gonna be happening in your first house. Then it's also gonna impact very, very strongly Sagittarius, since this is the opposition of Gemini. So Sagittarians are also gonna be feeling that energy very, very strongly. It can also be a hard time for Pisces and Virgo. It's gonna be easier on Leo and Aries signs. Then for Taurus, Cancer, Scorpio, and Capricorn, this full moon is not gonna have such a huge impact. It's gonna be a little bit more harmonious, but it's not gonna be hard. Then for our Leos, Aries, Aquarius, and also Libra, this is gonna be a very harmonious full moon. So it's gonna be very easy for you. You are gonna also be shown many things, but the energy in general is gonna be a little bit more calm. And as for Virgo and Pisces, this is also gonna be very, very hard. You are gonna be experiencing this energy as a square, which is the hardest aspect in astrology. So this can be a little bit hard for you, but every full moon is there to actually show us something that we need to improve in order to live our best life. So it's always possible to use the energies to its advantage, and that's why I love doing these videos, because then we are actually able to prepare ourselves for the things that are gonna be coming towards us, and then we are able to use those energies properly. And now let's move on to the rising signs. So for Aries rising, this is gonna be happening in your 9th house of higher education, higher learning, also your philosophy, and even long travels. So this is gonna be the life area that is gonna be highlighted, and with Mars and also Mercury being there, this is really gonna ask you to see and to take a more optimistic approach, to open up your mind to new possibilities regarding your higher education, regarding long travel, and also regarding your philosophies. It's gonna really ask you to open up for finding out your truth, finding out more possibilities in your life regarding how you think about things in a spiritual way. So the way you approach philosophies and spirituality in general. And also this is maybe gonna ask you to actually see that you need a higher degree, for example, in order to achieve your goals. When we look at the opposite, we are gonna be having the moon in Gemini in your 3rd house, which is gonna put the emphasis on your learning and education in general, your communication skills, and the way you are learning in general. So this is really gonna ask you to see what in your philosophies and what regarding your higher education needs to change, so that you can actually gain the emotional needs fulfilled regarding your learning and regarding your education, regarding the way you are communicating on a day-to-day basis, right? When we look at Jupiter, which Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, Jupiter is gonna be in your 2nd house, which is the house of resources. It is the house of your possessions, of your values, also of your self-worth. So this is also gonna be influenced by that. So Jupiter and Uranus being in your 2nd house may bring some opportunities into this area of your life that are gonna ask you to actually change and adjust. So I really feel like this full moon is really gonna ask you to see what about your higher education, what about your philosophies needs to change, so that you can actually gain more self-worth from it and gain more emotional fulfillment from those things, and how this childlike curiosity can actually be fulfilled. Those are gonna be the topics for you. So with this full moon happening in your 2nd house, this is gonna also ask you to take a closer look at your budget and assess your material resources, and really consider how effective communication can enhance your financial stability. So this means that financial discussions actually may arise, since we are gonna have the disrupting Uranus there, but together with Jupiter, those are gonna be the circumstances and the things that may come up and may arise, but at the end I feel like they are still gonna be very, very positive. Also with Moon ruling your 4th house, family dynamics could also take a center stage, so really use this time to address any emotional matters within your household, your home connections in general, and also find a balance between personal and family needs. Regarding your 3rd house, with the moon in the 3rd house, the focus is gonna be on learning and communication. So really engage in intellectual pursuits, really express your ideas openly, and consider short trips or interactions with siblings, and really sharpen your communication skills. Also with the moon trining Pluto, which Pluto is in your 10th house, so the house of your career. This is really also gonna put career matters to the surface. You are gonna be asked to reflect on your professional goals and communicate your ambitions, and reconsider how your public image aligns with your aspirations. So networking and communication are gonna play a vital role during this full moon. So that was it for all of my Aries risings. I hope that you are gonna be using this full moon's energy to the best of your abilities and to the most of its advantage. I feel like this is really gonna be very, very good full moon for you. It's gonna be a little bit on the easier side regarding the energies that you are gonna be experiencing, but still it's gonna really help you to move forward. So make sure to use those energies properly, and if you are an Aries rising, make sure to leave me a comment down below on how you are experiencing those energies, and if you align with everything that I said and what is happening in your life currently, because we oftentimes can feel the full moons and the new moons energies before they actually happen. So let me know how you are feeling those energies and what life areas are being impacted for you right now. For Taurus rising, this full moon is gonna be happening in your 8th house, which is about intimacy and shared resources. So you will really be asked to delve into deep emotional connections and review joint finances, and also contemplate transformations in your relationships. It's really a profound time for self-discovery. The 8th house is the house of deep transformation, right? So this is really gonna be asking you to see what in your life needs to actually transform. With Mercury and Mars also being there, this is really gonna be a call to action. So the life area is gonna be highlighted, you are gonna be shown what needs to change, and then you are actually gonna have the ability and have the power to actually go after the things and change them, since Mercury is gonna be there and also Mars. So you are gonna be having the drive and also the mental ability to actually put the things into motion and to actually transform the things that need to change. And on the opposite side, with Moon being in your 2nd house, which is the house of your resources, personal values, as well as money. So this full moon is gonna really bring your attention to your values and finances. It's gonna ask you to assess your material resources, consider financial adjustments, and really reflect on what truly matters for you. Really focus on cultivating a healthy self-esteem. Moon rules over our emotions. So what regarding your self-worth, your values in general, and your possessions needs to transform and needs to change. With the moon ruling over your 3rd house, this is really gonna emphasize communication and learning. So really engage in intellectual pursuits, express your thoughts openly, and consider short trips or interactions with siblings, and also strengthen your connections through effective communication. Also, with Jupiter ruling your 1st house, which is the house of your appearance, it's the way you are showing up. So it's like the first layer of your personality. And with Jupiter and Uranus being in your 1st house, this could mean that sudden changes regarding the way you are actually looking like or appearing are gonna come up, and this is gonna ask you to see what you're really valuing about yourself. This is really gonna be a little bit challenging on your self-worth even, I feel like, because this is really gonna ask you to see beyond the mask, beyond the persona that you are putting out to be, and really see what your core values is, what does really matter, right? So let's take an example. Maybe you went to get a haircut and it turned out bad. And then you are really being challenged and asked to see, okay, maybe this is not your best hairstyle, but does it really matter at the end? I mean, we are all humans, and at the end, the connection and who we truly are at our core matters way more than how we are actually looking like. So this is gonna be very, very interesting. This is gonna ask you to really transform and change. So the full moon is gonna be a little bit harder for you, but I feel like you are really gonna be able to deal with everything, and everything that is gonna happen is gonna lead you to a more empowered self. So if you are a Taurus rising, please leave me a comment down below of how you are feeling those energies, what life areas are being impacted for you right now, and what is happening in your life. And I hope that you can use those energies to your advantage. Make sure that you really make a plan and see what is gonna be impacted and how you can actually deal with that. So maybe writing down what your core values actually are, what you value about yourself and your possessions, and what truly matters in your life, and also what you would like to be transformed in your life. Making a list like that can really be helpful, and actually manifesting things during this full moon can really help you out during this strong and intense energy. Gemini rising, this full moon is gonna be happening in your 1st and your 7th house. With moon being in your 1st house, this is gonna illuminate your identity and self-expression. It's really a time for personal awareness and focusing on your needs and expressing your authentic self. Really consider how you present yourself to the world and embrace personal growth. See how you actually want to be viewed by others, how you actually want to show up so that it aligns with your emotional needs. And with the sun being in your 7th house, relationships are gonna take center stage during this full moon for you. So reflect on your partnerships, communicate openly with your significant others and even your business partnerships in general, and find a balance between independence and shared goals. Also strengthen your connections through meaningful conversations, since we are having this full moon in Gemini, and Gemini is about communication, it's about exchanging ideas. So maybe you just actually need to work on your communication skills in your partnerships so that they actually can become better, and that you can show up as your true authentic self, and that you are able to express your emotions openly. Also, with Jupiter being the ruler of Sagittarius and being in your 12th house together with Uranus, this could mean that there are gonna be some changes there. And the 12th house is about our subconscious mind. It's the subconscious patterns that are running. So maybe you will actually be shown, or some things and some unhealthy patterns are actually gonna come up and be a little bit disruptive, but only for you to actually see what actually needs to change regarding your relationships, how you can communicate there better, and also how you can actually show up so that your emotional needs are actually fulfilled. So those are gonna be the energies that are gonna be playing out for you. So it's really gonna be very interesting for you. You are gonna be feeling those energies very, very strongly, but make sure that you use them properly. Now that you know what is coming your way, you can actually prepare yourself and make a plan how to work with those energies. So I would really take a notebook and write down everything that comes up from your subconscious mind so that you can analyze it and see what actually needs to be improved. Also, make sure to make a plan or find the time to communicate with your significant others so that you can improve those relationships. And also make sure that your emotional needs are fulfilled. So be open about your emotions and be willing to actually show them and to be more vulnerable so that you can really create those meaningful connections in your life. And if you are a Gemini rising, then please make sure to comment down below what life areas are highlighted for you right now, what energies are you feeling, and what is happening in your life in general. I would love to know if what I was telling you about is resonating with you guys. So leave me a comment down below and let's have a chat. Cancer rising, this full moon is gonna be happening in your 6th house and in your 12th house, with 6th house being about our work, routine and daily habits, also the day-to-day work that we are doing. So really this full moon is gonna bring your attention to your work environment and your daily routines. It's gonna ask you to assess your health and well-being and strive for balance in your work-life dynamics. So really this is gonna ask you to actually see what needs to improve in your day-to-day life, how can you make a better plan that is gonna allow you to take care of your body and create this work-life balance. Also, this is gonna be a great time to actually communicate with the people that you are working with, because this could be very beneficial. So if there were any conflicts at your workplace, this is gonna be a great time to actually talk with people and clear things up, and also brainstorm with people regarding new ideas, maybe regarding your business or your work in general. So if you are a business owner and you want to start any new ideas, this would be actually very, very great for you to actually plan a brainstorming meeting during this time. And with the moon being in your 12th house, this is really gonna ask you to see what subconscious programs are running you and how you can improve them to actually be emotionally fulfilled. The 12th house is all about everything that's hidden. It's about our subconscious mind. So what there actually needs to improve and to change so that you are able to express your emotional needs a little bit better. And with Jupiter being in your 11th house, which Jupiter rules Sagittarius, and being there together with Uranus, this could mean that you are going to be asked to focus on your social circle and group associations. So collaborate with like-minded individuals for shared goals and interests. And really networking in general is gonna bring you a sense of balance and connection. So this could be really a beneficial time to network with others. Also with Cancer being in your 1st house, which is ruled by the moon, this is gonna impact how you are actually showing up. So this is really gonna ask you to see what in the way you are actually showing up needs to transform and needs to change. So very interesting energies for you, Cancer risings, and I hope you can use those energies properly and to your advantage. I don't feel like it's gonna be hard. I feel like this is gonna be quite a pleasant full moon for you, and you are gonna really be able to use those energies to your advantage. So if you are a Cancer rising, please leave me a comment down below on how you are feeling those energies, what is happening in your life, and how you are planning on improving your life during this time. And I hope that what I was telling you about is gonna resonate with you. So please let me know if you resonate with that in the comments down below, and I will see you there. Leo rising, this is gonna be happening in your 5th house and also in your 11th house. So with the 5th house being the house of self-expression and creativity, this full moon is gonna illuminate your creative endeavors. Also, it's gonna ask you to engage in activities that bring you joy and showcase your talents. And also, this can be a time where collaborative projects in the realm of arts and entertainment can flourish. So really, this is gonna ask you to express yourself more authentically and to use your creativity to your advantage, to show it to the world, to show your skills, even though it can be scary sometimes. But this is really gonna highlight that. This is gonna be the urge that you are gonna be having during this full moon. Also, with the moon being in your 11th house, this is gonna highlight social connections. So focus on your social circle and group associations. Collaborate with like-minded people. Maybe you can even collaborate with people who are also artists, and maybe you can do some cool projects actually together, right? So networking in general will be very, very beneficial, and it is really gonna ask you to see what people do you need to be connected with to actually get your emotional needs fulfilled. And with Jupiter and Uranus being in your 10th house, this could really bring unexpected changes regarding your career. So maybe because something about that will change, you will actually be asked to see that maybe the career that you chose for yourself wasn't the right one, and maybe because of the disruption you will really be called to use your creativity and to start expressing yourself. So I feel like this is really gonna be very, very positive for you, Leo rising. Also, since you are also generally very, very creative, this is really gonna be very strong for you, but in a very, very positive sense. I don't feel like it's gonna be very heavy. It's gonna be more positive, and those changes that are gonna be coming towards you are gonna turn out to your advantage. So make sure that you find a way to express your creativity, to actually show who you truly are at your core, to use those amazing creative skills, and to connect with like-minded people, to collaborate with others, and to see that maybe to create something bigger, you actually need to connect with others. Maybe you don't need to do everything on your own. Maybe sometimes actually being around like-minded people can give you a push in your creativity, or can bring you new ideas to your art and to your creativity in general. So make sure that everything that comes up around your work, that you really see it and that you analyze it and see how you can make the most out of it. Because those disruptions regarding your career are gonna be there, but they are gonna be positive, and they are gonna be there to actually to help you, to push you into the right direction of being fully self-expressed. So really amazing energy for you, Leo rising. So please let me know in the comments down below how you are feeling those energies, what is showing up in your life, and how you want to use this full moon's energy to your advantage. And I hope you are doing well, and I will see you in the comments down below. Virgo rising, this full moon is gonna be happening in your 4th house, being the house of home and family. So this is gonna be the time to focus on your family dynamics and emotional well-being. Really collaborate with your family members in general to create a harmonious home environment. Also, make sure to maybe make a plan on how you can share the responsibilities in your household to create a more balanced and nice atmosphere in your home environment. This is really gonna put much emphasis there. And with the moon being in your 10th house, this really is gonna ask you to do those changes and to make those shifts, because you need to balance your career and your home environment. So you are really gonna be asked to make those changes so that you can gain the emotional fulfillment that you need from your career, because career is gonna be a very important point for you. You are really gonna crave the emotional satisfaction that comes from your career, and that's why you are gonna be asked to actually transform your home environment and the things that are just not working. Maybe you need to ask your partner to help you out a little bit more so that you can spend more time and to put more energy at your work, for example, because this is gonna give you the emotional satisfaction that you need right now. Also, with Uranus and Jupiter being in your 9th house, which is the house of traveling and expanding your horizons in general. So really consider opportunities for personal growth through travel and education. Collaborate with individuals from different backgrounds, or just engage in cultural experiences really broaden your horizons for a more balanced perspective. So this can bring you some unexpected opportunities that are gonna be happening in your ninth house. So maybe it's gonna be a unexpected travel trip somewhere. Maybe it can be that you suddenly want to go back to school or get a higher degree, for example, to actually get this emotional fulfillment, and that's why you are not gonna be able to spend so much time in your home environment and to put that much effort into your domestic life. So maybe that's why you are actually gonna need help from your partner. So really amazing and interesting full moon for you. So make sure that you take advantage of this full moon. Make sure that you make a structured plan and actually talk with your family members and see what needs to change so that you can actually gain the emotional satisfaction and the emotional fulfillment from those energies. And if you are a Virgo rising, make sure to comment down below if you are aligning with everything that I just said. Make sure to let me know what life areas are being impacted for you right now, and I will see you in the comments down below. Libra rising, this full moon is gonna be happening in your third house, being the house of communication and learning. This is really gonna put big emphasis on your communication skills and learning pursuits in general. You could even be asked to collaborate on projects that involve writing or spoken expression, and sibling relationships may also be highlighted. So make sure that you are using those communication skills, that you are communicating with your siblings, and that you are open-minded in general regarding collaboration with other people, and that you focus on learning something new. And with the moon being in your ninth house, this is really gonna emphasize your emotional needs regarding your higher education, regarding your philosophies, and maybe even spirituality. But in general, I feel like this is really gonna emphasize more of what you actually need to learn on your day-to-day basis, and how you actually must change the way you are communicating in your day-to-day life, and what needs to change regarding your communication so that you can actually gain the emotional satisfaction from your higher education and from your philosophy in general, so the way you are living your life and the things that you believe in. This could even ask you to make a plan that will allow you to fulfill your emotional needs regarding your higher education. So what do you need to work on right now? What communication skills and what projects, and how you can work with other people so that you are able to actually fulfill the emotional satisfaction that is gonna come later in life from the higher education. So maybe in order to get into the university, you need to actually put more emphasis on the way you are learning right now and communicating with others, and on your education right now in general. So maybe you need to work on this right now, and you really need to put more work into it so that you can actually gain the rewards later in life. But those gains are gonna be very emotionally fulfilling for you. Also, with Jupiter and Uranus being in your 8th house, this is asking you to transform. And also with Uranus and Jupiter being in your 8th house, which is the house of investments and shared resources, maybe this could even mean that you are suddenly gonna be able to get the money that you need so that you can put it into your education, and then this will allow you to actually later in life get into the school that you always dreamt of, right? So this is really how it's gonna probably play out for you, which is really strong and beautiful energy, because I feel like those energies are not gonna be that intense for you. This is gonna be more pleasant, and I feel like you can really get some pleasant surprises regarding your resources in general, that are going to allow you to invest the money into yourself and into your education, so that you can get those higher degrees later in life, and that you can align more with your philosophies and with your dreams overall. So very beautiful energy for you Libra risings. I don't feel like this is gonna be too hard on you, but make sure to use those energies properly. When you get that unexpected money, make sure to invest it in your education so that you are able to learn more, so that you are actually emotionally fulfilled at the end, right? So really this could mean very positive changes for you. If you are Libra rising, make sure to comment down below if you are aligning with what I was saying, and also make sure to let me know what is being highlighted for you right now. What energies are you feeling, and how are you planning on using them to your advantage? Scorpio rising, this full moon is going to be happening in your 2nd and in your 8th house. 2nd house being about your resources, about money and values in general, and also about your self-esteem, and with the 8th house being about transformation and also shared resources. So you will actually be asked to change something about the way you are viewing your values and possessions, the way you are maybe viewing your self-worth, and to actually make a plan that will allow you to actually gain more self-worth. And on the other hand, this could even mean making a structured plan that will allow you to actually invest your money so that you can gain the emotional stability that you actually need from those investments. So those are going to be the life areas that are going to be the most impacted. And then when we take a look at Uranus and Jupiter being in your 7th house, this could mean disruption regarding your relationships, but not only your intimate relationships, but relationships in general. So this could even mean that some unexpected business partner is suddenly gonna show up and is gonna want to give you the money that you can then invest to gain that emotional stability. But on the other hand, when we look at it from more like romantic partnerships, this could mean some disruptions there. So maybe either you are actually gonna get into a new relationship that is gonna actually help you to feel more self-worth, and that is gonna actually allow you to express yourself and your values in general. So this could actually mean a very, very calming, but in a very positive sense, relationships that is gonna come into your life. Or on the other hand, this could mean cutting some people out from your life so that you can gain more self-worth and that you are gonna actually be able to see your own value. So that's why your emotions are probably gonna need to be expressed and transformed so that you can tap into the energy and that you can actually see how much you are worth. So this is gonna be a very transformative time for you, Scorpio rising, but I feel like you are gonna deal with that just fine. Like Scorpios rising are always, at the end, you are always fine. You are the sign that deals with transformation on a daily basis, so you should be fine with that. But really use the opportunity, use it to see whether it's about your resources or your self-worth or your money in general, and the relationships that are gonna be breaking off or coming into your life. Make sure that you reevaluate those and see what they are trying to teach you or how they can actually bring more value into your life. So really amazing energy for you, Scorpio rising. Make sure to let me know in the comments down below how you are experiencing those energies, what life areas are being highlighted for you, and if you can resonate with everything that I was telling you, and also how you are planning to use those energies to your advantage. And I will see you in the comments down below. Sagittarius rising, this full moon is going to be happening in your 1st and in your 7th house. 1st house being about yourself, about the way you are showing up, and 7th house being about your relationships. So it's gonna really put much emphasis on personal identity and your self-expression. So it's gonna shine a light on your personal identity and self-expression. So embrace new ideas and new ways of presenting yourself to the world, and consider how your communication style actually influences your image. Because when people are coming into contact with us, the first thing that we are actually seeing from the other person or hearing is the way they are communicating with us. So how is the way you are communicating with others aligning with who you truly are, right? How can you make it more aligned? How can you make sure that you always tell the truth and tell your opinion without hurting people's feelings? And also with the moon being in your 7th house, relationships are gonna really take a center stage during this full moon for you. So engage in open and honest communications with important people in your life, and collaborate on shared goals and appreciate the diversity that each person is bringing into your life. So really this full moon is asking you to see how you are expressing yourself, because maybe this is actually holding you back from gaining that emotional satisfaction from your relationships, because maybe you are too bold with the way you are expressing yourself, or maybe you don't tell enough and maybe you don't share enough of what your idea of a fulfilling relationship looks like. And maybe because you are not sharing those informations with your partners, this is why you can't create the emotional satisfaction from your relationships. And then with Jupiter and Uranus being in your 6th house, which is the house of daily duties, your work in general. So really it's gonna ask you to evaluate your daily routines and health practices, balance your adventurous spirit with a focus on maintaining your well-being, and also collaborative efforts and work-related projects can actually lead to success, because when we look at the seventh house is not only about our intimate relationships, it can also signify our business partnerships. So maybe some changes are gonna be coming in your work environment, and they are gonna ask you to actually change the way you are expressing yourself and the way you are communicating with others, so that you can create more emotional connections and more value from your relationships. So those are gonna be the energies that are gonna be happening for you. Those are gonna be pretty big changes for you, Sagittarius rising, but since you are very, very optimistic, I feel like you are gonna be able to deal with that just fine. And if you are a Sagittarius rising, make sure to comment down below if you are aligning with what I was telling you about. Comment down below what life areas are highlighted for you the most and how you are planning to use those energies to your advantage. And I will see you in the comments down below. Capricorn rising, this full moon is gonna be happening in your 12th and in your 6th house. 12th house being about your spirituality and inner growth. So this full moon is gonna really encourage reflection and spiritual exploration. Take time for introspection and dive deep into your subconscious and consider the significance of your dreams. So make sure that you are paying attention to your dreams in general, because in our dreams we can often receive messages from the universe that are actually there to help us and to guide us, and really embrace inner growth in general. Make sure to pay attention to your subconscious patterns that are running in the back of your head. What patterns are actually coming into light right now? What does your mind actually wants you to see and to improve? And with the moon being in your 6th house, this is putting emphasis on the way you are communicating in your day-to-day life. So maybe you have many subconscious patterns that you are not aware of that are influencing your day-to-day life and the way you are communicating with maybe your colleagues and with the people that you are surrounding yourself with in general in a negative way. Maybe you need to let go of some unhealthy patterns from the past so that you are able to actually express yourself better, and so that you are able to have more emotional fulfillment in your life. Also, this could even mean that you are asked to actually see if your day-to-day life and your day-to-day work actually aligns with the dreams that you always had about how your life is gonna be looking like. Those can be the life areas that are really gonna be highlighted for you. So is your day-to-day life emotionally fulfilling you, and is it allowing you to actually express yourself and to communicate with others, to communicate your opinions and the things that are important for you? Or what around your spirituality and your subconscious mind, the subconscious patterns, needs to change so that you can actually live a more fulfilling day-to-day life? And with Jupiter and Uranus being in your 5th house, this could bring some disruption to your creativity and how you are expressing yourself and your self-expression. So creative pursuits and self-expression in general are gonna be highlighted for you. So embrace your artistic side and engage in activities that actually bring you joy, and show your talents and creative endeavors with others, because this is really gonna help you to find that emotional fulfillment in your day-to-day life. And I feel like you are gonna be asked to see maybe what has been holding you back from actually expressing yourself authentically and from expressing your creativity in general. So those are gonna be the topics that are gonna be highlighted for you during this full moon. And if you are a Capricorn rising, make sure to comment down below what life areas are being highlighted for you right now and how you are experiencing those energies. And also make sure to share what is your plan to be working with this full moon's energy, how you are planning to align with everything that the universe is actually wanting to show you. Comment it down below and I will see you there. Aquarius rising, this is gonna be happening in your 11th and in your 5th house. 11th house being about your aspirations, your friend groups and the people you are connected with, and your hopes and dreams in general. So this is gonna ask you to reevaluate your hopes, your dreams and aspirations. Collaborate with like-minded individuals and groups of people, and join group activities and contribute to shared goals. This is really gonna ask you to embrace the power of teamwork. And with the moon being in your 5th house, This is really gonna put much emphasis on your creative pursuits and self-expression. They are gonna really be highlighted for you. So make sure that you embrace your artistic side and engage in activities that actually bring you joy, and share your talents and creative endeavors with others, which could be perfectly combined with the energies that you're going to be feeling in your 11th house, right? So how can you actually show up as your authentic self so that it will allow you to connect with the right people and with like-minded people, right? This could mean that you are going to be asked to collaborate with others so that you can find a way to actually express yourself better and express your authentic self and express your creativity through teamwork and through working with like-minded people. And with Jupiter and Uranus being in your 4th house, this could bring some disruption regarding your home and family. This is going to ask you to balance your ambitious pursuits with a sense of emotional security. So collaborate with family members to create a more harmonious living environment. So what needs to change regarding the way you are showing up in your home environment and the way you are communicating with your family so that you can create more emotional security there. Those are going to be the topics that are going to be playing out for you, Aquarius rising. And let me know in the comments down below how you are feeling those energies, how they are impacting you, and how you are planning on using those energies. This is not gonna be a very hard full moon for you. This is gonna be a more easier, and you are not gonna be feeling those energies that strongly, I feel like. So this is gonna be a rather very harmonious full moon. Make sure to use it to your advantage, and let us know how you are planning to deal with that and what is showing up in your life right now. Pisces rising. This full moon is gonna be happening in your 10th and in your 4th house. 10th house being about your career and 4th house being about your family and your home environment in general. So regarding your career and your public image, it's gonna ask you to actually focus on your career and your public image. It's gonna ask you to evaluate your professional goals and communicate your ambitions and consider new perspectives. And it's really gonna be putting much emphasis on balancing your work and personal life in general. And with the moon being in your 4th house, this is gonna ask you to pay attention to your home and family matters, balance your ambitious pursuits with a sense of emotional security, and collaborate with family members to create a more harmonious environment that will allow you to actually go after your goals regarding your career, but also find the emotional security when you come back from your from a long day of working, right? So maybe some things actually need to change regarding your home environment, regarding the way you are showing up for your family in general. Maybe you actually need to ask your partner to give you more emotional support so that you can actually go after the things regarding your career. And also with Jupiter and Uranus being in your 3rd house, which is the house of communication and learning, this full moon is gonna influence that life area. So engage in open conversations, express your ideas, and explore new avenues of knowledge. Short trips and interactions with siblings could also be highlighted, but I feel like this is gonna be more in the direction of you need to actually really communicate with your partner and with your family so that you are able to create that emotional security, and then you are able to use your energy in your work and to create and to build a career for yourself that is going to align with your ambitions and aspirations. So stay open-minded and make sure that you communicate with your family members so that you can create the emotional satisfaction from it and that you can create more stability in general. So communication is really the key during this full moon for you. So if you are a Pisces rising, please let me know how you are experiencing those energies, if what I was telling you about is resonating with you, and how you are planning on using those energies to your advantage. I feel like you are gonna be able to make some big changes during this full moon before we are gonna start into the new year regarding your career especially. So make sure to take a leap of faith there, to really go after the things that you actually want in your life, and don't be afraid to communicate your needs and to make changes regarding your home environment. And I hope that you are gonna be able to use those energies to your advantage, and I will see you in the comments down below. So guys, that was the whole video about the full moon that we are gonna be having in Gemini. As you could probably tell, some signs are gonna be more impacted and some signs are gonna be less impacted, or I should say some life areas are gonna be more impacted than others for each and every sign. But making sure that we are actually aligned with the energies that the universe is sending towards us, and making sure that we are actually using that information from videos like that to our advantage is really crucial, because only when we know what is happening and then we act on it, we can actually make changes in our life and align with the universe and what it actually has in store for us. So make sure to align with those energies and make sure that you use those information from the video and to set up a structured plan and to manifest the things that you actually want to attract into your life. And I feel like this full moon is gonna ask us to be more social and to engage with people in general. Normally on the full moon, the energies are so strong that we rather should stay at home or limit our contact to not get overwhelmed. But this full moon is really gonna ask us to actually step outside and to expand our minds through communication with others and through social endeavors in general, and through brainstorming, to just staying open to new possibilities, new opportunities, and new ideas. So this is gonna be it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you liked this video. If you want to see more of forecasts and videos like that, make sure to leave me a comment down below and subscribe to my channel to see more of my videos. And if you haven't seen other videos about astrology that I did, make sure to click right here to check them out. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you are gonna have an amazing full moon, because it's gonna be the one of the last full moons that we are gonna be having in this year. So make sure that you really use those energies to your advantage. And thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.